So I don't know if any of you will want to be here for this portion of the video, but just in case, I'm going to go ahead and get this set up to do the reading. So I'm going to do 3 piles as usual, possibly 4, depending on, how this goes. I let the cards kind of like dictate how this goes, but, or I should say my spiritual guides dictate how this go. So, hello, hi everyone. I am Lotus Mage Oracle. Welcome back. If you are new here, welcome. Come on in, suss out the vibes, get a seat, get some tea, and enjoy. Today, you see the thumbnail, you see the title of this reading, and we are getting into what you need to dissociate from in order to continue your spiritual journey. Being in alignment with your higher self, your spirit guides, your ancestors, the deities that you worship, whatever, you kind of believe in. So today I'm just kind of letting the cards dictate how many piles it's going to be, and we're just going to get into the reading. If you want to stick here for this part where I kind of shuffle and go through and separating the piles, please enjoy. If not, I will see you in whichever pile you resonate, because I don't even know how many is going to be here yet because I haven't even started. But without further ado, I do have to issue a verbal disclaimer that all opinions, all statements made in this video are alleged for entertainment purposes only. They are not to be taken serious or to be taken as fact, because that's not what it is. I am simply someone who is on the internet playing around with cards, So do not take this as any kind of like financial, legal, physical kind of, or health advice, because I hold none of those titles, none of those professions under my belt, sadly. So without further ado, let's get into separating out these piles. I find it funny that the devil and the emperor were the ones that kind of came up in the split, but whatever. Let's say you already know we about to get into some things here where we're dealing with dissociation. So those are one. What is it dissociate from? So it was a card that flipped over, but I'm trying to keep you all from seeing it. And do you deem it worthy for pile 1 to have any more cards to explain what, who, where, and why they need to dissociate from? Oh, okay. Well, that's all of yours. Can you give pile 1 any clarity into who, what, when, where, and why they need to dissociate from these things in order to live in their higher self, their highest truth? Anything else? Any other cards? Nope. Okay, so I don't know if you've seen those, but we're gonna flip that over. And can you give any explanation, spirit, source, ancestors, guides, on how they can go about dissociating from this behavior, or actions, thoughts, etc., that may be keeping them down, stagnant, and low vibrational? Hopefully you didn't see that one. So that's for you all, pile 1. Pile 2, let's get this resonated in your energy. Okay, so I'm gonna say this right off the bat. Pile 2, I smell like gloves. Like that powdery, latexy smell that gloves have. And I was not smelling that earlier, but I don't know. Maybe that's something you needed to know. Chosen a person to rest something, information on things that they need to dissociate from others, keeping them tethered and from living and walking in their highest truth. One more card. Okay. I feel like that one wanted to come out. Wasn't nothing else that flipped over, right? No. Okay. Oracle, the radiant sun. You give me unique clarity and insight, further insight. Okay. Can you give me any? So this is actually your card. Can you give me any actions on how Power 2 can dissociate from the behaviors, actions, thoughts, the who, what, when, where's, and why's that is anchoring their higher self? So I'm gonna say this Power 2. I think some of your stuff is a continuation from Power 1 already because two of your tea leaves kept landing on Power 1. So I don't know. That's pretty interesting. Sorry you keep hearing my phone. But now we're gonna get into Power 3. Can I at least get one more card? Okay, that answered it for me. Power 3. Give me any more clarity and insight into why Power 3 needs. And then lastly, can you give me I ask I call on my spiritual guides, my ancestors, my masters, my loved ones, my ancestors, my guardian angels and demons that should come back into this space and give me the actions needed for Power 3 to dissociate from whatever energy is blocking them from from living and being in their highest truth. We have that, we have this. There was one that fell on the floor. Oh, two. Okay, is there anything else? Is there any other actions? That was all me. I let that slide through. That don't count. Anything else? Okay, so like you got a lot of tea leaves here, pile 3, but we're gonna work with it. Can you give me a card for pile 1 to pick from as their overall arching energy? Okay, these two kind of wanted to come out, but let's see. Can you give me an overall card for pile 1 to pick from? I keep getting 2 or 3 cards for them. Can I just get one card, Spirit? One card, Spirit. For pile 1. So pile 1, you have the Necromancer. We're gonna flip that over. Or the Crowmancer, sorry, the Chiromancer. You have the Waker. pile 2 and for pile 3. Then we have the Spymaster. Okay, everyone. So for pile 1, you have the Chiromancer, which is dealing with delivering news, collaboration. For pile 2, you have the Waker, awareness and reflection. And for pile 3, you have the Spymaster, knowledge and distrust. So this one is dealing with, pile 1 is dealing with water, I believe, and pile 2 and 3 are all dealing with fire. Just so you kind of look at that, you see one is dealing with hands, one is dealing with messages, and one is dealing with kind of like, I feel like your third eye, or kind of just opening up the third eye, or things that you see. So I will let you all pick a pile that you resonate with. I'm going to give you all a second. Okay, if you need to pause in order to give yourself more time. Other than that, I am going to move on to pile 1 for things, for what energies that they needed to dissociate with in order to upgrade, or better walk in alignment with their higher self and in their highest vibration. So here we go. So again, pile 1s, you have the Chiromancer. I hope I am pronouncing that correctly. To me, this just reads like fortune teller, somebody who is trying to divine your truth, divine your future by looking, at your hands, like fortune reading. But that's your overall energy. But in the meantime, we're going to move that off to the side because that is the overall energy here. But let's get into your tarot cards. So you have the 7 of Wands. You have the Ace of Discs. You have Adjustment. The Queen of Wands. Okay, let me see. Let me move these over. See if I can get them all to fit on the screen. Yeah, probably not. And then you also have the 9 of Swords in reverse. This just feels like a lot of combative energy to me. You're trying to step out on, like, you have to prove something to somebody. And Adjustment, if I'm not wrong, I want to say Adjustment is the Hanged Man in here, in this particular Toph deck. So it's like you're going to need to look at, you're gonna need an adjustment. You're gonna have to probably be removed for certain spaces in your life, or you need to remove yourself from certain spaces in your life because it's causing you to be kind of like combative, or cruel or overpowering, very demanding. Because we also have the Queen of Wands here in reverse. So that means you could also be kind of like using your strengths, I guess you can kind of say, to punish or suppress others. It's funny, the Chiromancer says collaboration, but to me it feels like you don't want to collaborate with people. You're very for self. You're like, well, how can I lean on anybody else or ask anybody else to do something when I know I can do it better all by myself? Like, my way is better than what the other person is doing. Mine's is more efficient. It kind of gets us to the ending faster, whatever the case may be. It just reads, this is very guarded energy. So I think maybe you need to dissociate from feeling like you always need to have your guard up. a feeling that you can't reach out to others. Kind of like get out of being selfish, let those walls down. Just a little bit, just a little bit. I think you also kind of come off kind of like, what do they call it, haughty in nature, where basically you feel like you are above other people, like people aren't as smart as you, or people aren't as beautiful as you, like you feel like you're the entire package. It kind of feels like overfed ego, or like exploded ego, when it really doesn't. You really shouldn't have one. You really don't need one. But let's see if I'm right. Up, what do we got here? Control. You are trying to control some things. Organization. So this feels like maybe there is something dealing with the people you are surrounding with yourself with, whether that is family, friends, or business. You feel that you need to control every aspect of everything. That's why this cruelty and this Queen of Wands is in reverse. You feel like you need to control and manipulate and be in the know-how in the middle of everything, even when you're like collaborating with people or you don't collaborate with people, or it's being called for you to do that. You're still kind of like being um I guess the only word I can think of right now is like selfish. You're making sure that you're still getting the credit for everything that you do, and possibly what everybody else did, because you gave them the idea or something, or you helped them flesh it out, or you spoke and worked with them about it. um it feels like you're operating really from like a scarcity mindset, essentially. With this organization card, it inclines me to believe that this is something dealing with business. But let's see, speculation. You don't trust a lot of people around you. This is some Scorpio type stuff, interestingly enough. And then we also have vision. So I would say this for you all, Power One. I think your strength comes that you do play a pretty good long game. However, I think you get messy going along the ways, because you're looking at the grander scale of things, that you are missing those little minor details, and that's probably where you need to learn how to delegate those people in your party, whether it's family, business, friends, whatever the case may be. You can delegate those minor tasks to them, because maybe yes, you see the destination, but you don't know how exactly you're going to get there. You're not exactly looking and reading the map and knowing step by step by step on how to get there. Like you may know, I think of it like, you writing a book. When you write a book, you can kind of see maybe how it's going to begin, how it's going to end. You see who the main characters are. You see the main plot point. You see the what they call it, the climax of the story, and what's going to cause it to decline and all of that. But maybe you don't know, okay, I don't know exactly where I want the setting to be. I don't know how to describe my characters. I don't know what's going to be like their quirks. I don't know maybe what's going to be the minor trials and tribulations is going to help them level up to get to the climax point, to where they finally fight the boss, and the world is saved, and then kind of like how to end it off from there. Or maybe you're like, okay, overall this is how I want to see the beginning of the story go, but you don't know exactly the words to write for this particular first chapter of your story. Maybe you don't have the chapters down for your story, etc. So again, it's like, yeah, I see the beginning and ending of the story, but I don't know how many chapters going to be in here. I don't know how many characters I'm going to have, what's going to be the catalyst I'm going to need, what my hero's going to look like, etc. So maybe you need to delegate those things to someone else. Maybe you need to communicate with someone else in order to get this together. So I think you need to dissociate from this behavior of that the only person and thing that you can count on is yourself, Power Ones, because it's causing you to be maybe it causes you to come off like cruel or standoffish or manipulative. I keep wanting to say hoity, but I don't even know if that's how you pronounce it. But just, very like malicious when it comes to dealing with people. And so it makes it hard for people to kind of want to befriend you, because if you steady come off like you have everything together, who's really going to want to help you? Because then you're going to be picky about how they helped you, or like, that's not the way I wanted you to say that. You could have said it like this, because you want to nitpick about every little thing, because you think you're a know-it-all, essentially. And it's like, Okay, maybe you are the smartest one in the room. However, everyone else has their strengths as well. And just because your strength is knowledge or seemingly being knowledgeable about everything that's around you, maybe there is some things that you aren't taking into consideration or you're not keeping your mind open to because you think you know everything. So just be careful with that. Don't have an overinflated ego, and then it makes it, it comes as a knock to the back of the knees when you're actually proven wrong or something doesn't go right. It can cause you to kind of be stuck in and kind of like a downward spiral when you finally find out like, oh, I'm wrong about something, or there was another way for something to go, or something doesn't go the way that you particularly pictured or imagined for it to happen, because you felt like you know it all and you felt like you had the best laid plans and it still didn't go right. So it's telling you to back that up. Alpha and Omega. I'm just saying that because I'm seeing the so is this the Justice card? Alpha and Omega, bringing balance. I don't remember what. So maybe that is justice, adjustment. Sorry, not the Hangman. Maybe it is because I'm seeing Alpha and Omega here and then adjustment. It sounds like it's maybe a Libra. Sounds like the Justice card. So sorry for everyone I misled at the beginning there. Um yeah, vision. You're only partially seeing things. There's a lot of eye work here too with the speculation and the vision. And so then we have Des, pay attention to your work. Said it has something to do with business, happiness. So maybe you feeling like you have to be the beast of burden, the carrier of all things. Maybe you feel like you're the most dependable one. So you've just kind of taken on that role and made it your whole personality, where you're the dependable one and you feel like you can't lean on anybody else, is bled over into every and anything that you do, of like you just kind of go in and take charge and you don't even give it a chance for someone else to kind of step in and fill the void, and it makes you in turn unhappy because you feel like you always are having to play front and center. You're always having to play the quarterback. You're always having to call the shots. I'm gonna have to be the quarterback and the coach. Like, I would like to sit on the bench too. That's what it's giving. March, every single time I see this March card, especially with the wilting lily of the valleys, I think they're called, it just makes me think like maybe you feel that maybe the people who picked this pile, because when I see the March, especially with the wilting peace lilies or the lilies of the valleys, I'm not sure exactly which plant this is. It makes me feel like maybe someone passed away, and maybe it had nothing to do, maybe the timing was around March, a sometime in your life, but it feels like because someone passed, whether it was, to, transitioned over, or whether someone was just like, hey, I can no longer foot the bill and take care of everything, you've you filled the void and kind of been like, whether it's like the older sibling or the matriarch or the patriarch of the family, and you probably stepped in earlier than you expected when you probably didn't want to. That's what this March is giving me. And then you have Claw, be careful, do not take risk. Essentially, yes, you could read this and be like, okay, well, the claw is saying that I should be the one that's taking control of everything. Like, maybe I do need to take control. And maybe for some of you, that is the message. Maybe you do need to take control and responsibility for some of the things in your life. But to me, I think a large majority of you, I think the dissociation is taking a step back and feeling that you have to take control all the time and that you have to have your hand in every little thing. Be careful and not overextending yourself to where something falls through the gaps and you lose it, and now you're sitting up here kicking yourself in the butt because you wish it could have gone a different way, or it was such a simple, easy mistake and you're like, how could I have overlooked that? It's because you're stretched so thin. So yeah, that's what I'm getting for you all, Power One. For some of you, I think is, you know, you need to step into your power of taking control of things, of being the leader, of delegating, of directing people where they need to be. And then for some of you, I think is you maybe you need to lay down those burdens or spread it out a little bit before you become spread too thin and you're not able to better see into the future in the long distance and plan as you should, or as you typically normally do. That is your strength. So yeah, that's what I'm getting for you all, Power One. Let me know what you think about this. If you like this reading, give it a thumbs up. Yeah, leave a crab down in the comment box below so I know that you got to the end of your reading, Power One. If you would like to see more videos from me, you can hit the subscribe button and hit the notification bell to see more. If you resonate with one of the other piles, I will see you over there. If not, thank you for coming to watch this video and I hope it helps you. But now I'm going to move on to pile 2. All right, pile 2, your pile interests me the most. I wonder if it's because there's something in here that I resonate with myself, but the Waker definitely, yours interests me a lot. Again, yours deal with awareness and reflection. So right off the bat, maybe there's something here you need to dissociate from probably living in the past. You're probably stuck in the past, trying to correct mistakes of the past, and instead of living in the here and now, and possibly setting up for the future. So with that, we're going to move this to the side. We're going to see what messages you all got, starting with your tarot. So, wow, we have a lot of swords so far. Ace of Swords, Three of Swords, and then we have the Prince of Cups in reverse. Sorry, get these on the screen. And then we have the Three of Swords, Prince of Cups. Are you trying to make up for some kind of failed relationship? The Ace of Swords, especially with this Three of Swords, you see how it's like penetrating this flower, and then you have the Prince of Cups here as well. It feels like you're trying to cut out of a relationship, or you're trying to make up for it, or maybe some trauma or scars from this previous relationship is still with you today. And because you're constantly reliving in the moment of that relationship or kind of like what went wrong, you're carrying it over into the next relationship and the next relationship and the next relationship. And it's, yeah, I guess you can kind of say it's like a feedback loop. Maybe you didn't get someone the way you wanted. Maybe you get in a relationship that you wanted and you was hoping it was going to go one way, but it went another. Yeah, I think you felt like this person was like your person. And when you found out, or like when things, you know, probably didn't work out, it went sour, sideways, or whatever. And it doesn't mean like you all broke up. It could have just been like something was said or done and it made you kind of like look at this person differently. And now you're second guessing and questioning everything on whether or not um do you truly have a person out there, because if this isn't your person, who is? I would say maybe your what you need to dissociate from pile 2 is having pile 2. I think it's calling for you to dissociate from having a closed heart. Dissociate from living in the constant past. Let's see what your oracle cards say. Innovation, fulfillment, independence. Oh, this speaks like codependent relationship. Dissociate from codependency. That's what this is starting to sound like. Do you think you're not strong enough to stand out on your own power too? Do you think you're not beautiful enough that no one else will want you? Um, if you became your own person instead of morphing into what they kind of like want you to be or you think they want you to be? Do you think if you don't follow certain rules that it's gonna make you stand out, but not in a good way? It's gonna kind of like put you off to the side where somebody isn't gonna want to deal with you? Okay, for some of you who clicked on this, I think motherhood has something to do with you. I think you are working to be like the perfect mother, whatever that is. I've never heard of a perfect mom or father, a perfect parent. So good luck with that. I think that was one of the messages that came through. I think some of you are working to be the perfect mother and you need to chill. um Maybe for some of you, I think the messaging is that stop feeling like you have to be in this a marriage, a relationship, an entanglement, whatever the case may be, in order to have this ideal I guess you can kind of say socially acceptable family look, at least from the outside. I don't know how many of you all watch P Valley, but it kind of feels like what is her name? Mississippi, and her boyfriend, like, you know, she makes it seem glamorous, like it's something perfect, or maybe somebody from the outside who don't really know her think her and I think it's his name Derek's relationship is perfect. Like, she got her mixed babies, they live together, he support her despite her being a stripper, and it's like only if you knew he at home beating on her and he's manipulating her at every little second, and she's getting fed up kind of thing. Like that's what came to mind. It feels like that you need to dissociate from, I guess, living by the beliefs and thoughts of others. What do you need to do? What's going to make you feel happy? So I feel like you have to be constrained into this specific role, and what that specific role looks like. Like, it feels very performative almost. You're trying to perform to be the perfect mother, perform being the perfect wife, perform that things are happy or not what they are. And it's causing you to kind of like, I would say be careful, because I feel like it could cause you to develop a alternate personality. I'll say that. Let's see what else we have here. We have secret admirer. We have scissors, disappointment, and some affair. Lord. Okay, great good fortune. We have angel, spiritual guidance, protection from harm. It's crazy that that comes up because I was literally just talking about Mississippi from P Valley. And Lord knows that character needs all the protection she can get. And she also had a secret admirer. And then we have teardrops, great personal sorrow. So yeah, there is some mourning here of something not going the way that you expect. But I think once you let go, you stop trying to hold on to that and make um, something from nothing, you'll start seeing the good fortune come in, because you have released that negative energy, that negative person or relationship from your life, and have actually made room for the good to kind of swell up and fill into that space. You'll start to see the things and people that truly appreciate your presence and value your company. But you're not going to see it if you're steady focused on trying to appease this particular person. I feel like it's a person that you're trying to appease, you're trying to make happy. And until you stop doing that and you start doing what's best for you, potentially your children, for some of you, I feel like this has something to do with motherhood. Until you start trying to feel like you have to live your life for your children, or you know, maybe your mom was somebody in the family who was never married and she wanted you to kind of like break that cycle. And so you figure, hey, well, this was the nicest person to do it with, so fuck it, I'll get married to them. Like, I think until you kind of like separate and get away from that, stop living for the idea or the purpose of others, and you start living for yourself, you'll start seeing like, oh, I was in charge of my happiness the entire time. I was being in the way of it. But because you're not being controlling and you're letting others kind of manipulate and control the situation for you, you're trying to heed and bend to what they want. You aren't stepping out and doing what you need to. And I think your guides is telling you like, cut the cord, clip, cut away whatever does not serve you, because we have you. We're gonna guide you. We're gonna help keep you safe. We're gonna help you navigate this. But we can't do it until you start releasing some things, so we can start bringing in new. We can start transmuting the energy of things that you let go and start putting it into something that you need. Pile 2 is literally telling you, open your eyes. Open your eyes and see what is around you. You need to be aware. Maybe this is your moment where you need to reflect and look back on some of the choices you are making. Were you making those choices out of survival? Were you making those choices out of desperation? Were you making those choices because you felt like those was the only choices that you had at the time? What would be some of the choices you would make moving forward if you had them, if you knew about them? Just imagining the best of the situation. You need to start moving and operating like that. What are some of the choices you would make, or some of the things you would do if you got rid of your fear? If you got rid of the fear of failing, if you got rid of the fear of people judging you, if you got rid of the fear of falling behind, if you got rid of the fear of feeling like you failed others, what would be some of the choices and decisions and actions you would take if you were just doing this without consequences? What would be your choices? Power to. So yeah, like I said, some of your stuff does feel like it overlap with power 1, of feeling like um you feel like you have to stay in a particular predicament because it was handed to you, or you felt responsible, or you know, um, this was the only way forward for you. But that isn't always the case. So you don't have to bear the burden of everything, the breadth of the burden of everything. Like, something you can't handle or you can't take on right now, let it go. You need to start daydreaming and getting back into that. What do you want to do? What would your beginning look like if you could rewrite it, or if you could write your new beginning of the chapter in your life? What would it be titled? What would you do to make that happen and operate from there? So yeah, thank you all, Power 2, for coming in. I hope this helps you. I hope it resonates with you. If not, you know what to do. You can give it a thumbs down, but if it resonates with you and it helps you, give it a thumbs up. Leave an eye emoji down in the comment section below. Let me know that you finished your section, and I'm going to move on to Power 3. If you resonated with that one, I will see you over there. If not, I thank you so much for coming into this space and for listening to this reading, because I know there are thousands of other people on YouTube you could have been listening to right now, but you chose to come here and listen to this, whether you wanted the messaging or you just wanted to support. So I thank you for that. And I ask that you hit the notification bell so you can know the next time I upload. And without further ado, I'm going to move into Pile 3. All right, last but not least, we have Pile 3, the Spymaster, Knowledge and Distrust. So I'm seeing a reoccurring theme here of, at least with the top cards here, And this is a good thing. The power is all in each and every one of these piles. The power to manipulate and change your reality, to control what's going on around you, is in your hands. However, are you willing to take the chance? Are you willing to take the next step? Are you willing to do what you have to do, cut out who you have to cut out, or what you have to cut out in order to live in alignment with your higher self, to be back in those highest vibrations of your being? And I think that's kind of like the resonating theme I see throughout all three of these piles. So good job to you all. I'm glad you know the power lies within you, but maybe you haven't recognized it yet. And that's probably why I'm doing this reading, to make you recognize and wake up and see that you hold the power. So yes, let's get into this pile three. So first and foremost, we are going to get into your tarot cards. So we have Disappointment, the Five of Cups in reverse. We have the Dominion, the Wands, Two of Wands. And then lastly, we have the Ace of Cups in the upright here. So to me, this feels like these reverse feel like delayed energy. It doesn't feel like blocked. It feels like delayed energy. I think there was something that you wanted to do or you stepped out to do, and with all intents and purposes, you were going to do it, but something maybe happened in your life that kept you from doing it. You've kind of always held that bitterness about it. Yeah, the cards here are saying to me there was a choice, an event, something in your life that happened that kind of like took you off course for a bit. And because it's kind of led you to this space in your life where you don't want to be, you're kind of like upset and maybe punching yourself in the face, or like shooting yourself in the foot, or, being angry with the person who kind of guided you to make the decision that you made. And you're kind of still holding that resentment. And I think because of that, it's making it hard for you to kind of like find your inner joy again. Um, so for you all, Power Three, I think there's someone you need to kind of like cut out of your life, or be careful when you're around them. Take note of how they make you feel, how your energy changes when you're around this person. Um, I think you need to be mindful of how you deal with this person, how you interact with this person, if not cutting them out completely. Because yeah, I think it's a person. Let's see here. Oh, look at that, friendship in reverse. It's not a fruitful friendship, and somebody isn't true to the friendship. I think they're faking it. You're on the lookout for your excitement. You're trying to call it in. I think every single time you find something to be excited about, they make sure you can't keep it for long. Somebody has a friend of me in the circle here. It's kind of like giving narcissistic behavior. And I hate using that because people, we overuse that word so much now. But it kind of feels like narcissistic behavior, or like maybe you have embodied. It's a tricky way to saying this, because I feel like you are the what they call it, the main character of the story. But this fake friend, feels like they should be the main character of the story, and it's giving you second character syndrome. Somebody is hiding something, some kind of motive here. It makes me feel. And it almost feels like you're either aware of it or you have an inkling, but because you want to believe the best about this person, you're choosing to ignore some of the most like blatant signs. Hmm. Okay. So then we have clubs. Someone will try to make you do something against your will. Come on. And you see me shuffle the cards at the beginning here. I did not pick these cards out. Someone is trying to come between you and a friend or something you want. Are you planning something? Ooh, romance celebration party. You have fan as well. Are you planning on getting married, pile three, and a particular friend is trying to not have that happen? You needed to defend yourself. You also have pale. Time to get out of a situation. Yep. So it seems like you need to detach from a friend. Major challenge to overcome. And I think for whatever reason, whoever this friend or slash cousin, whoever this is, I don't know why I wanted to say slash cousin, whoever this close person is to you that you kind of taking them in as family, I feel like you kind of know, people have been telling you that they aren't who they say they are or who they pretend to be for you, and you've caught them a couple of times, but because you keep trying to, you're steady trying to look out for the best in them, you still want to believe the best about this person, that there's no way this person could do this to you. You're keeping your enemy a little too close, where they know a bit too much about your business and what you're doing, and you need to X them out the equation. You need to be a bit more protective about what you have and what you're doing, pile three. Spymaster. Think about it. Spymaster. Somebody is spying in the camp. They delivering messages and sending things back to somebody. And every single time you build up any kind of form of happiness or stability or feeling like you have something, they come in and make you feel guilty. They try to take it from you. They are a energy vampire. They're just sucking it out you. And you literally have detachment in here. So you are being asked to detach from this person. You are being asked to dissociate from this person and the energies and things that they make you feel, and to warn people around you like, hey, I get it. I love this person, or I used to love this person, but right now they're in a particular headspace or energy right now where I can't deal with. It's very negative and it's bringing me down. And I have to protect my energy because right now I'm supposed to be experiencing some of the happiest and most joyous occasions in my life right now, and I feel like I'm not allowed to do it because I'm constantly adhering and changing or conforming to what this person needs. When is going to be my time? When is it going to be my turn? I'm supposed to be starting something new here. Whether it's a new friendship, a new relationship, because they could be a jealous friend. Like, they don't want you to be friends with anybody else. Or maybe they're jealous that you spend so much time with your significant other because they don't like being third wheel or the attention not being on them. But whatever the case may be, it's just like you are like, I need to get away from this person because it's just not working. I'm noticing um certain people are coming back and telling me weird things that this particular friend or whatever or associate is doing, and it's weird. Or like, even if you are somebody, or even if you are somebody who is in a new relationship or forming one right now, potentially getting married, maybe even your significant other has told you like, hey, I think you need to watch out for this person because their energy is a little it's a little questionable. So I think you need to play things close to the chest right now. Yeah, someone feels left behind for sure. And sometimes that happens. Maybe it could be something as simple as you don't want to cut off or end this friendship because you've had it for so long in your life, but now it's coming to a point where you all have grown apart. And instead of just naturally growing apart or having a conversation and end things in a nice, mature manner, you're dragging it along. And now you're starting to have like, so maybe now you all are starting to have like animosity or like, what's that other word? Or like, um, regret and being involved in each other's life. Like you're starting to regret being friends, and it shouldn't be that way. Like obviously you were in each other's lives for the period of time that you were for a freaking reason. Um Just take it for what it is and let it go, move on. And I think you aren't doing that. I think you're not allowing that natural process of growth to happen because you're trying to stay stuck to where you can be relatable or digestible to this particular person. Oh, excuse me. And it's just not gonna happen. So yeah, yours power 3 was like cut straight to the point. So hopefully this helped you. If you resonate with this reading, leave a cup emoji down in the comment section below. Leave a like. If you didn't like this reading or it did not resonate with you, give it a dislike. Please hit that notification bell and subscribe so you can see the next time I upload. With that, Power 3, I will leave you all with this. I hope this helps, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye.